At 82, I've had plenty of time to reflect on the choices I've made, but if there's one decision I could take back, it would be moving into a nursing home. At the time, it felt like the right move. My family said it would be better for me, safer, more comfortable, less stress. I trusted them. But once I was inside, the truth hit me hard. This wasn't what I expected. Maybe you're in the same place right now. Maybe you're considering a nursing home for yourself or for someone you love. Maybe you've been told it's the smart or easiest choice. But I want to share the 6 things I wish someone had told me before I packed my bags and left my home behind. Because once you're in, it's not just a change of address, it's a change of life. And coming back from it is harder than you might think. Stick around to the end, because what I'm about to tell you may change the way you look at nursing homes entirely. Let's start with the first regret, losing my sense of control. Regret 1, losing my independence. What caught me off guard wasn't the size of the room or the smell of antiseptic. It wasn't the cafeteria food or even the long hallways filled with wheelchairs and walkers. It was the fact that my choices, my everyday decisions, disappeared. Back in my own home, I could decide when to get up, what to have for breakfast, whether I wanted to sit by the window or take a walk outside. Those choices were mine. I could change my plans last minute, stay in my pajamas till noon, or make toast at midnight. But once I moved into the nursing home, everything ran on someone else's clock. Breakfast was served at 7 sharp, whether I was hungry or not. Lights out at 9, even if I wasn't sleepy. I had to ask for help to go outside, and often I'd wait a long time before anyone was available. Simple things like what to wear or how to spend my day were suddenly controlled by the facility's schedule, not mine. I remember waking up on my second morning there. I reached for the old mystery novel I'd been reading the night before, and that's when I realized it wasn't there. It was probably packed away somewhere, maybe left behind. My familiar room, my cozy blanket, the coffee mug I'd used every morning for 20 years, gone. In their place were walls painted a dull beige, a stiff hospital-style bed, and furniture I'd never chosen. It hit me like a wave. I wasn't in control anymore. I didn't even choose this bed. The hardest part is knowing that once you hand over that independence, it's near impossible to get it back. You start to adapt. You stop asking questions. You start eating what's put in front of you. You stop protesting when they say it's time for medication or exercise or sleep. You fall into the rhythm because it's easier than fighting it. But with every small surrender, a piece of you fades. If you're weighing this decision, ask yourself, are you ready to give up the quiet freedoms that make your life yours? Because once they're taken from you, you'll ache for them in ways you can't imagine. It's not the big things you'll miss, it's the little ones. The ability to walk into your kitchen barefoot, pour yourself a cup of tea, and sit wherever you want. When those things vanish, you start to feel like a guest in your own life. Regret 2, feeling invisible. This one hurt more than I expected. When I first moved in, I told myself my family would be around. I even joked with my daughter that she'd be sick of seeing me. And for a while they were there, bringing snacks, helping me unpack, promising to visit every Sunday. And they did, at first, but slowly life crept in. The Sunday visits turned into phone calls. Then the phone calls came less often. My grandkids were always busy with school or caught up with work. I understood, at least I tried to. But understanding doesn't make you feel any less alone. The holidays were the worst. I remember sitting in the community room on Thanksgiving, wearing the sweater my daughter gave me last year, staring at the door, waiting. Other residents did the same. We'd all glance up every time someone walked by, hoping they were coming for us. Most times they weren't. I don't think my family forgot me out of malice. It's just that once you're not part of the everyday picture, it's easy to become background noise. You're not on their way to work. You're not needed to babysit. You're just there, out of sight, out of mind. There were days I picked up the phone, ready to call my son, and then put it back down. I didn't want to sound needy. I didn't want to remind him that I was still sitting in that same room, waiting. That's the hardest part, not just being alone, but feeling forgotten. If you're thinking about making the move to a nursing home, ask yourself, are you ready to watch the world move on without you? Because no matter how much your family loves you, when you're no longer part of their daily lives, it's easier than you think to be left behind. If you're still with me and these reflections are speaking to you, drop a number 2 in the comments. That way I know you're listening, and maybe, just maybe, we can keep each other company in this conversation. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss what comes next. Let's keep going. Regret 3. Losing my sense of purpose. When I moved into the nursing home, I thought it would just be a new address. I didn't expect it to strip me of the things that gave my days meaning. At home, I had a rhythm. I watered my plants, folded laundry, made toast exactly how I liked it, and fed the cat. I had places to be and things to do, even if they were small. But in the nursing home, everything was done for me. My meals arrived like clockwork. My laundry was picked up and returned folded. My plants, well, they stayed behind. And the cat, she went to live with my daughter. At first, I welcomed the rest. No more chores, no more stairs, no more stress. But it didn't take long for the boredom to set in. Days started to blur together. I found myself sitting in the same chair, at the same time, watching the same programs, wondering how I got here. I wasn't the only one. I remember a man named Thomas who lived down the hall. He'd been a retired school principal, sharp, always dressed neat, loved crossword puzzles. But after a few months, I noticed him sitting quietly by the window every day, doing nothing. I asked him once what he was thinking about. He looked at me and said, "I'm just waiting for the day to end." That broke my heart. That's the danger of a nursing home. It doesn't just take care of your needs. It can take away your reasons for getting up in the morning. When everything is provided for you, you stop feeling useful. And when you stop feeling useful, you start to feel invisible, even to yourself. I missed feeling needed. I missed being able to help. I missed the satisfaction of cooking a simple meal or folding a towel just the way I liked. Those little tasks were never just chores. They were anchors, proof that I still had something to offer, that I still mattered. If you're watching this and thinking a nursing home might be a good way to take a break or have a slower life, I urge you to ask yourself, what happens when your days become a series of scheduled meals and TV reruns? Will you still feel like you have a role to play in your own life? Or will you, like so many others, start to fade into the background? Now, regret 4, underestimating the toll on my body. One afternoon, I overheard another resident whisper to her nurse, "I don't know when it happened, but I feel like I aged 10 years in just a few months." And that's exactly what it felt like. The decline wasn't dramatic. It was slow, almost sneaky. A few weeks after moving in, I realized I hadn't gone for a real walk in days. No stairs to climb, no groceries to carry, no sweeping or stretching or bending down to pick something up. Everything was made so easy, too easy. In a place where convenience is the norm, your body quietly begins to shut down. You don't realize it at first, but then one day you try to stand up from a chair and your legs tremble. You walk down the hallway and feel winded halfway through. The strength you once took for granted starts slipping away, and when you finally notice it, you're already too weak to do something about it. That's the irony of nursing homes. They're designed to help you, but in doing so, they can accidentally make you weaker. I wish someone had warned me that staying active wasn't just a suggestion, it was survival. I should have kept pushing myself even when I didn't feel like it. I should have said no when they tried to do things for me I could still do myself. Because once you lose your strength, getting it back is an uphill battle. If you're considering a nursing home, ask yourself honestly, will you still have the motivation to move your body when everything is designed to keep you comfortable? Because in this place, comfort can become a cage, and getting back on your feet, both literally and emotionally, is harder than it looks. If you're still watching and finding these stories helpful, comment number 4 below so I know you're still here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I encourage you to do it now and hit the bell. Your support helps us keep creating content like this. Real stories for real people, to inform and inspire. Now, regret 5, the loss of privacy and dignity. Before I moved in, I didn't realize just how much I valued privacy. It wasn't something I thought about, it was just there. At home, I had space. I could close the door, I could sit in the quiet, take a nap, sing to the radio, or just stare out the window without interruption. But in the nursing home, privacy is rare, almost impossible. From the moment I arrived, I felt like I was being monitored. Staff would walk in without warning. Room checks were routine. Doors didn't always stay closed. Even small personal things became shared events. Getting dressed meant asking someone to help you find your socks. Using the bathroom sometimes meant pressing a call button and hoping someone came in time. Taking a shower? That was something you had to schedule and wait for. And if your helper was running late, well, you waited. It's not that the staff were unkind. Most of them tried their best. But no matter how gentle they were, being helped with things I'd done for myself my whole life made me feel small. And then, of course, there were roommates. I was lucky. My roommate was quiet and respectful. But I met plenty of people who weren't so fortunate. One woman I met had to share a room with someone who yelled at night and talked to the wall. Another had a roommate who refused to flush the toilet. You don't get to choose who you live with, and that can make daily life stressful and unpredictable. No matter how many pictures you hang or how you try to decorate, it's never truly your space. What's harder to explain is how much this eats away at your dignity. When people walk into your room without knocking, when you're called by your room number instead of your name, when you're treated like a task to be managed instead of a person to be respected, you start to lose yourself. You start to shrink inside. One day you're running your own household, the next you're waiting for permission to go to the dining room. If you're thinking about moving into a nursing home, ask yourself, are you truly prepared to give up the privacy, the boundaries, and the sense of control you've had all your life? Because once it's gone, it's not easy to reclaim, and dignity, once chipped away, doesn't come back overnight. Regret 6, thinking I could just leave whenever I wanted. When I first moved in, I told everyone, it's just for a little while. I'll try it out. I believed that. I thought I could change my mind. I thought if it didn't feel right, I'd pack up and go home. But what I didn't realize is how hard it is to leave once you're in. At first, I kept my house. I even kept the key on my ring. But as the weeks went on, things changed. My children started cleaning it out, getting rid of clutter, donating furniture, even talking about renting it out. When I brought up the idea of going back, they hesitated. Are you sure you can manage? You've got everything you need here. Why take the risk? They weren't trying to be cruel. They were trying to be practical. But every time I heard that hesitation in their voice, a little piece of hope faded. Then there was my body. I wasn't as strong anymore. The stairs in my house now seemed intimidating. The thought of cooking, cleaning, even just showering on my own, it all felt harder than before. I wasn't sure I could handle it. I wasn't the only one. I met so many people who came in thinking it would be temporary, just a short stay, a little help, then back to normal. But time passes, routines set in, and the longer you stay, the harder it becomes to leave. Some people never did. Their homes were sold, their savings used up, their old lives out of reach. For many, the decision to move in became permanent, not because they chose it, but because they didn't realize how fast the door could close behind them. That's the part nobody tells you. Moving into a nursing home feels like a decision you can undo. But the truth is, for most people, it's the beginning of a one-way path. And by the time you realize that, your old life is already fading in the rearview mirror. If you're still with me, please comment number 6 below to let me know you're still watching. And if you haven't subscribed, now's the time. Your support helps us keep sharing honest stories that matter. Final thoughts. Looking back, I don't regret getting older, but I do regret believing that a nursing home was the only answer. I came in hoping for peace, for safety, for simplicity. What I got was structure without freedom, safety without dignity, care without connection. That doesn't mean all nursing homes are bad. Some provide essential care, some are run by kind-hearted people doing their best, but it does mean that you should think long and hard before making that move. If I could go back and do it all over again, I would have fought harder to stay in my own home. I would have looked for other ways to get help, hiring part-time caregivers, modifying my house, maybe even asking my community or church for support. Anything that would let me hold on to my independence a little longer. I wish I had understood that once you move into a nursing home, it's not just your address that changes, it's your identity, your autonomy, your rhythm of life. If you're facing this decision now, I urge you to slow down and really think it through. Ask yourself, is this truly what's best for me? Or is it just what's easiest for everyone else? Sometimes the easy choice isn't the right one. The routines you have now, the independence you've built, the little freedoms you enjoy each day, they matter more than you think. And once they're gone, you'll miss them in ways you can't even imagine right now. Thank you so much for being here with me today. These aren't easy things to talk about, and they certainly weren't easy to live through. But if sharing my story helps even one person make a more informed decision, it's worth it. Please leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today or something that really resonated with you. We read every comment, and your thoughts, your stories, your encouragement. It all means the world to us. And if this video spoke to you in some way, please like it, share it with someone you care about, and subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the bell so you'll be notified every time we upload a new video. Your support helps us continue to create meaningful content that informs, inspires, and connects. Before I go, let me leave you with this. Growing older is not something to be ashamed of. It's a privilege. But how we grow older and where we grow older matters. Don't be afraid to fight for the life you want. Don't be afraid to ask for help without giving up your freedom. And don't let anyone make you believe that a nursing home is your only choice. You still have time. You still have options. You still have value. Never forget that. Thank you again for watching. We'll see you in the next video.